of our economy, so to speak. You find that the very farmers where farm them produce, yet right now you have tons of cabbage a waste in Jamaica because goods coming in from America selling cheaper
than what produced
than
here.
what can be produced here.
Of course it is.
So you find it's just extracting more than putting in.
The Jamaica that I knew, the Jamaica in which I grew up, is not the Jamaica that you, a tourist, would see now. That Jamaica no longer exists. That Jamaica no longer exists, partly for the usual reason, the passing of time, and partly because of this new global economy.
Well, when you say the onion producing this year, you can look at every house or every yard that you see around here. Everybody, all young, middle age, involved in picking out onion, sowing onion, reaping onion, bagging up onion. So everybody was involved in the production in this district. But right now, it is just a trickle, just a brave one them.
When it's ready for harvesting, you see imported potato right out in front of your home being sold. Potato that's grown in Idaho or New Brunswick or some other parts.
Hello? The shipment come every week, you know. Them can Irish the US, potato, them America, they want Canada. And the red peas, they sell out America.
When I was a little boy, I grew. Everybody that you see around here, their livelihood was planting peanuts. All those days are over. Over and gone.
All this land is what we used to farm carrots. Now we cannot farm anymore. We don't got any market for it. Because through the foreign carrots.
It's an insult to our dignity of not being able to produce and sell in your own market at home.
This is a free market, and I've learned that because of the financial problem that the government is under with the World Bank and the IMF. They are the one who institute the pressure on the government as far as we learn. Now we had a thing named protective market. The government said no import. And then now we compete with one another. But for the time being, you're open to the world to compete with the world.
Before, we was unable to bring in anything because of the policy of the country. But lately it changed.
The difference with the person who comes in from foreign with his trailer is that he has now been given legal right to bring it in. So I'm not fighting him. I'm fighting the policy maker, the person who is foolish enough to sign such a policy.
Some of the prescriptions an IMF program usually seeks to implement is to get countries to eliminate artificial barriers to trade. They would require a country with an IMF program not to impose artificial restrictions on imports and not to unduly subsidize exports.
So when the person brings on his trailer, whether he's in Kingston or up here, whether a farmer gets smart and get on the trailer line, he will fill his pocket of money. But what will happen to the other thousands of farmers? So you're fattening a few people at the expense of a whole culture that took years to build up. You destroy it with a stroke of the pen.
He holds the handle and you hold the blade. I mean, you know, if you want the money badly enough, then you have to agree to his terms. So ultimately, the IMF usually gets most of their own way.
Why did we think they should reduce trade barriers? The reason is that Jamaica is a very small country. It's not a country which could sort of thrive by producing only for itself. We believe very firmly that countries are going to grow better if they're integrated into the world economy, and that means reducing tariffs. And it needed to allow its importers, its people, access to goods from the rest of the world, rather than have them rely on this little economy.
Market vendors also complained about the large number of foreign fruits and vegetables on the market, saying all of the foreign foods were hurting their business.
the foreign Irish, the foreign carrot, the foreign ginger, everything full of the market.
But the supermarkets seem to be doing well with overseas produce, as they're being sold for less than the local produce. So you're saying that the foreign lettuce and carrots are less expensive than the local lettuce and carrot?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
When you open up the marketplace, those who are in a better position to take advantage of the market do so.
We import the spray, we import the fertilizer, we import the seed. So what we have to put in? Only sunlight and our impact. And if we use that right, we produce a better quality thing, but at a high cost.
The problem is that we are competing with an unfair situation. In the States, nobody hires money for over 10%. The lowest cost here now is 19%, and it can be as high as 40%.
In Washington, they just looked at us and said, no. Your inflation last year was 18%. And under the positive inflation rate theory of interest, that means we're not allowing you to lend your farmers our money, which we lend you, at 12%. You must charge 23%. I remember I took 2 trips, it was, to Washington to say, it is wrong economic policy, it is wrong socially, it is wrong to say that we must force the farmers to pay that rate of interest, or you won't lend us the money.
Typically, in an IMF program, there'll be some assumption about the way interest rates are going to go.
And I remember saying, which are you who are going to face an American farmer and tell him that to borrow something for his farm, he must pay 23%? I said, they'll run you out of the White House and out of Congress. Oh, that's their business. We are dealing with your business.
We use machine to farm, but the world in general use machine. So when you check it out, can machine compete with machine?
The farming section is nearly completely wiped out.
Anything that led to the more self-reliance on our resources was strongly discouraged because of this emerging ideology, which we now call globalization.
My name is Tom Lipitsky. I'm with the United States Potato Board, and we represent about 6,000 potato producers in the United States. One of the markets which we found to be of very much interest is right here in Jamaica.
Get you up here, Mr. Harrison. There we go. Okay. Everybody say potato. Potato. Jamaican potato.
We had offers from Washington from some guys, a group of guys. We asked them what they wanted to buy from us, and there wasn't anything that they could buy from us. They just wanted to sell us potato seeds. We're not short of potato seeds. That's not our problem.
I'll give you a joke. You talk about get goods in the United States. I signed a contract to produce honeydew melon and cherry tomato. And you know what happened? Everything I send to the package, they turn it down, say it not reach the standard. They say don't package good. The size that we have is not meshing with their size. And the system went on so rotten with me that you know what I did? Discard it total.
NAFTA or whatever they call them, a free enterprise. They're not free, they flow like the Mississippi. It flows in one direction into the Gulf of Mexico. It never goes back up the hill. And whereas the Gulf of Mexico can absorb it, Jamaica cannot absorb the flow from Europe and from North America, all coming in on us. This is our country, our turf. Give us back our market. Don't try to force your idea on us.
But now you are finding that the thieves become more desperate. As a result, now we have, as farmers, have to be planning. And as I help you to see that, we use the nail and the needle system. These pegs, they have needles. So when the thief come now to grab the skelly and to haul it up, the needle hit the hand. I have learned from the Bible at 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 1 that the last day here would be critical and hard to deal with. So I am looking for it to be hard. And I am seeing it pelting me or pushing me right in our hard. But bear in mind the scripture says hard to deal with. It's not to say can't deal with.
We do rule under a government, but the government not seeing the things to help the people, or to do the things to help the people. What they are doing between the American government and the Jamaican government is to still join hands and hand to oppress the poorer class of people more than more.
But what really beat our government still is just the money where they want, and doing business with the term. That really go with the money.
The terms and conditions.
And the conditions that go with the money. It's on to the money. You see, we are so poor that these rich people use their money to really just push their money before like it's a gift. But it's really a trap.
We have this dairy farm has been going from in the early 40s. My father farmed here before me. It was on a continual rise in production.
The industry flourished from 18 million liters a year to over 30. I think we peaked at around 34 million liters in 91.
In 1992, the government entered into an agreement with the Inter-American Development Bank for a loan of about $50 million, which was to support agriculture and manufacturing. The conditionalities of those were that we should abandon any form of local subsidies, and we should abandon any control of the imports of milk powder, meats, and what have you.
Almost always when the IMF is lending to a country, a developing country, we'll be making loans